get a super chat. Emily Robinson, thank you so much. Says, is JJ getting better or is it the play calling? Before you address that, there is a there's some Mike Morris hate going on in the chat right now. I
What do
don't.
you mean?
Well, Brandon Blockton seems to think that Mike Morris is like a sixth or seventh round pick.
Um, he's a tougher guy to get a read on because I think that he reminds me of a three. He's a 3-4 type of D end where he's not the kind of guy who's gonna get
He's
you
not a
big
pass
seconds.
rusher.
Right? He's not a pass rusher.
Hmm.
Uh, no, I don't see Mike as some first day draft talent, but he's a solid football player. He'll probably be a fourth round pick, maybe five. It depends on how he tests out. Um, he doesn't really jump off the screen a lot of times, being physically dominant, but he has flashes of it. So yeah, let's toast agree with me. So like he doesn't really jump off the screen, but he's a good football player. So um, if you say that, I don't think it's hate. I think it's an honest assessment. He's definitely not a
Well, sixth or
star.
seventh round pick is very different than what you just said. And
Oh, okay. Well,
also,
yeah, I think that's ridiculous. Not a 6 or 7 round pick, but he's definitely I think a solid four. If I had to put money on something, I'll say a fourth round pick for sure.
where did Chase Winovich go? Was he a
Third round
third rounder?
to the
Okay.
Patriots.
Mm, okay.
I think. See, they're different players too. I think Chase was more of an energy demon, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he's more of a guy who caused havoc. I think Mike is a lot more physically imposing, but he's not as dynamic, if that makes sense. Um, and I
You
think
think he's not as dynamic just in general, or you're comparing him to Chase Winovich?
the point. I mean, I don't think neither of them were like, man, like this guy's a gang breaker. I think they're just good football players. I think Mike is a lot more physically imposing than Chase, but Chase had a better motor than Mike. Chase made up for a lot of his physical um, limitations, especially from a size standpoint, due to his motor. I think Mike is a pretty physical imposing guy, but he's not like a athletic freak like a Aiden Hutchinson is or something like that. So um, they're both, I think, system type guys, right? They're guys you bring into your team as rotational defensive linemen who, in the right system, can be very helpful. Definitely in your rotation. Now, I'm not giving you a
Okay.
roundabout answer. That's truly how I feel. Like I don't, I don't see them as penciled in starters for 10 years in the NFL, right? I can see them hanging around and being in rotations for teams for sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hmm.
That's it. Okay. So do you think JJ is getting better, or is it the play calling? What are your thoughts?
Oh, Emily. I think the play calling's for the most been the same actually. I think JJ um, he's gotten better um, overall in terms of I think his progressions and taking certain throws when they're there. He still struggles with accuracy at times, being consistent. But then, because sometimes he'll throw a dime, like a dart, like he had in an end zone pass to Ronnie Bell, and then there'll be
Mm-hmm.
times where he'll throw, you know, wobblers, like he threw to Roman Wilson that for where it should have been hit right in stride, and instead he threw it in a way that was so off target that Roman had to dive for it, and it was turned out to be an incomplete pass when it should have been an easy completion. So those are the type of things that JJ still struggles with, but I think it's more of him. He has gotten better, but the play call has been pretty much the same for the most part. In terms of him being at the helm, I don't see them calling. Yeah, I think it's more him getting better.
I'm not even sure where I land on this.
And it's tough, and that's a tough one to answer because they both I think they both go hand in hand. I think a lot of JJ's deficiencies at times has been due to the fact that he's been handcuffed so much earlier on in his role in the offense, right? Particularly passing the football. And then more they have allowed him to pass it a little bit here and there. Um, And actually, I see Stan. I think Stan has to is kind of articulating my point right here. Play calling is open up, which is allowing him to play better. So maybe there's more play calling. It seems to be going hand in hand. But I think naturally his experience has allowed more of his game to kind of come more to the forefront as well. So maybe the best answer is that they're in tandem.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Hmm.
Combo meal. I'm a
Hmm.
big person when it comes to combo meals.